Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As I said in my opening, there are a lot of reasons why states and localities have adopted policies to leave immigration enforcement to federal government where it belongs. For some, it's about fostering trust with local communities. When immigrant communities know that calling 911 won't result in deportation for themselves or a family member, they are actually more willing to report and help law enforcement solve crimes, which makes all of us safer. For others, it's an important factor is legal liability. Courts all over the country, just to counter what my good colleague from Arizona said, have ruled that when local law enforcement complies with civil immigration detainer requests, and to be clear, an immigration detainer is a request, and continues to detain someone pursuant to a detainer when they otherwise would have been released, it's actually an unlawful detention, and it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. So Sheriff Wagner, I want to thank you again for being here and for the work that you do to support your community, and I believe you when you say you want to keep all of your residents in Adams County safe. You can just give me simple yes or no's to this. At any time since 2019, has the Adams County Sheriff's Office given the federal government personal information of any Adams County residents, like fingerprints, dates of birth, home addresses, or driver's license numbers? Just turn your mic on, Sheriff. Thank you.
We do a program called Stone Garden.
So just a yes or no is fine. Do you give, it's a simple question, do you give the federal government personal information of Adams County residents like fingerprints, dates of birth, home addresses, and driver's license numbers?
I'm not aware of fingerprints, but I do believe we give public information to those people.
And how often has your office done that?
It depends on what you're talking about. You want yes and no answers, or do you want me to explain?
Well, in this one, I'm asking you if you have numbers for that.
Okay.
If you can give me
I don't have numbers, but we do a Stone Garden program through the Border Patrol, which is funded through the state as well.
Okay. And at any time since 2019, has the Adams County Sheriff's Office held people beyond their release date in order to facilitate their pickup by civil immigration enforcement officers?
Not that I'm aware of.
So you're following the Keep Washington Working Act in that way, and that's good to hear. I want to go on to some questions for Major Franklin. Let me turn to you. One of the studies that I submitted found that mandatory information sharing between local police and ICE led to a 16% increase in crime against Hispanics. And let me be clear, that 16% increase means 1.3 million more crimes. Can you help us understand this statistic and why jurisdictions with community trust policies in place experience less crime and why their residents feel safer?
Yes, so to be effective, and a good part of my career was in criminal investigation for quite a few years. And we first need to get people to report crimes before we can even begin to investigate them. And when there's no trust between the police and the community, many people will not even report crimes. And this hasn't just become evident with the immigrant community. I grew up in West Baltimore, and I experienced times in my neighborhood where we really had trust issues. Many of my friends, many people that I knew would not even report the crime of a robbery, of being a victim of a crime. And then we need witnesses. Once we begin to investigate a crime, we need witnesses. So you have to have that trust that we, the police, are going to do the right thing. And in the immigrant community, if they believe, just believe that their immigration status is going to be questioned, or maybe that of another family member, or that of a community member which they are friends with, they're not going to cooperate with us. We've seen this time and time again, but when you can establish that trust, you see, we cannot be effective in solving crimes. And most of the people who commit the violence is a very small number.
Right.
If we can get them, if we can focus on them, get them convicted, charged convicted, then we have a great chance of reducing crime.
I just have a few seconds left here, but jurisdictions that adopted sanctuary policies experienced a 52 to 62% reduction in the domestic homicide rate for Hispanic women. Does that track with your experience as a law enforcement officer in jurisdictions with those policies?
Yes, as creating the first domestic violence unit in the Maryland State Police, as being the president of Turnaround Incorporated, which was about domestic violence in Baltimore City, shelter services and counseling services, yes, those numbers are very familiar to me. And there's a great report out, I believe
Time has
it's...
expired.
Well, usually the witness can finish answering.
Mr. Tiffany.
Thank you, Mr.
He did
Chair.
answer. The answer was yes. It was a yes or no question, and he
finishing his
added
answer.
quite a bit